Number 6. After the attacks of 9/11, the House and Senate overwhelmingly passed the Patriot Act. Since the passage, the initial bill has gone through several revisions. What is your stance on the Patriot Act, and how would you vote to improve it once you are elected? And for this, we'll start with Charlie Summers.
I think the Patriot Act was a good piece of legislation. I think it was a necessary piece of legislation, especially when you look at the terrorist networks that have been bubbling up, not only outside of our borders, but inside of our borders. I think it was important to have that passed. I do think that in terms of improving it, that's something that obviously will be discussed time and time and time again. I think it's in pretty good shape right now, and I think that we need to let it work. I don't think that we need to get in and tinker around. We need to let the people who understand security work and do their jobs. There's a lot of discussion about it, that whether or not the federal government can come in and see what kind of library books you're checking out. Well, the federal government's been able to do that for years. They've been able to come in and do those. That's called good detective work. And I think that we need to get out of the people who are providing security for this country. We need to get out of their way. We don't need to be micromanaging. We need to allow them to do the jobs to keep this country secure. And I will vote as a member of Congress to do just that. Thank you.
Did I tell you I took constitutional law twice yet? Okay. This was a good experience because early on, before Charlie came back, I did a debate with the Democrats about the plight of the Constitution. And as you can imagine, they wanted to impeach, they wanted to impeach Bush, they wanted to impeach everybody except Dennis Kucinich. And part of this was the Patriot Act. And once again, is to look at the constitutional process that played out, which was after September 11th, the United States Congress wrote a law called the Patriot Act. Right? Parts of that Patriot Act went before the Supreme Court, challenged. Some were turned down, some were held up. So the act went through, and of course, just like Charlie, I believe there's bad guys here too that we got to keep an eye on. But the adamance and aggressiveness to which the Democrats are trying to manipulate the constitutional process when it doesn't work in their favor is really disturbing to me. That's the more disturbing piece. For example, this FISA piece of legislation, everybody know what that was? Which was providing the telecommunications companies some level of immunity to be able to listen to the bad guys when they talk across our telephone lines. That went before the court. And the court said, okay, change this, make this different. And both the House and Senate went back and wrote a bill that everybody agreed on, but Nancy Pelosi said no. No, it's still a good political weapon I want to keep using. So since January, our guard has been down, because Nancy Pelosi will not allow this bill to come to the floor of the House. So we haven't been doing the work we're supposed to be doing from an intelligence perspective. Once again, it is going to take a member of Congress, or at least in the general election, somebody with an inherent knowledge of the Constitution. So when the Democrats start assaulting the Constitution as they are right now, whether it's the tribunals in Guantanamo Bay, you've got to be able to stand up in front of these folks and say, hold on, the constitutional process is played out, because they will run roughshod over any candidate who they have an idea or an inkling that they don't know about the Constitution. So you bet I'd support it. And you bet I'd tell Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike the constitutional process is played out. The Patriot Act has gone before the United States Supreme Court. They've told us which parts to change. It's a good law that protects civil liberties and gives the intelligence agencies the right to do what they need to do while they're here. But it's going to take somebody who can defend the Constitution. Like I said, I took that course twice, thankfully, but I've also proved it now in debate with these folks. And let me tell you, they don't want to stop there. When there's a decision that they don't like that has to do with the Supreme Court, they will beat that drum politically every single day. The Patriot Act, the Protect America Act, and also the FISA Act. So I've stood up already and defended this and had accolades from many of the Democrats who are actually in the audience. So vote for somebody who's going to be able to defend the Constitution. And I want to get my money back on that constitutional law course someday, too. Thank you.